الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم ألهمنا مراشد أمورنا وأعذنا من شرور أنفسنا. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala in His kindness gave the people of this ummah the honor that in every country, those that have to stand for the defense of the country, they have to fulfill a lot of criteria. There'll have to be a lot of exercise, they have to be very strong, they have to be very faithful. They cannot be found doing one act against the country for even one time. You will be regarded as a traitor. You will have to put in your name, then you will be scrutinized. It is a very difficult thing to get accepted as regarded as the protector of a country. And if there was an army which was known as the protector of the whole world, then they would go through a scrutiny which was much harder. And every now and then, if there was a chance of them making an error, they would pull back immediately, someone will catch. Then there was something called the protection of a religion which was divine, which was protected already by Almighty Allah, which the angels, they also wanted to protect this deen. And the creation of Almighty Allah, they would have been very ready. When they got the chance, then you had that ababil, those birds that came, tayran ababil, and they were very ready to attack even huge elephants and to drop their stones and pebbles. They got the chance. You want to be part of the army of Allah, no problem. They were so pure. They had never committed an act of evil. And they were given the chance. You can look after, protect the Kaaba. And they were given a once-off chance, and how they grabbed it. And then when the spider was given the chance to protect Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that your job is, are you ready to make a web in front of the cave? And that web was a once-off web. It was going to last for that 1 or 2 or 3 days. And thereafter it was gone. But the effort of that spider was going to be remembered till the ending. The effort of the bird was once-off, one day. And it was going to be remembered till the ending. That bird which had its nest, it was going to be given that once-off chance. You want to just sit by your nest, just sit, relax. And then you will be regarded as one who took part in the protection of the Rasul of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Once off, it grabbed the chance. But that bird was so. Those birds were pure. That bird was pure. The spider was pure. They had never done anything wrong, and they were given the opportunity. But it was told a once off and to one. It was one group of birds. It was that one pigeon. It was that one spider. And then came when the job of protecting this deen till the end of time. At that time it could have been the angels could have put up their hands and said, we are ready. But Almighty Allah now was going to give it as an honor to the people of this ummah. That are you ready to be part of the army of Allah? So that word army is something that everyone gets interested in. Everyone jumps. He says, where's the gun? This was going to be a different army. As that bird had to just sit on its nest. And it became part of a very unique army that in what a manner it protected the Rasul of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That spider just had to do its job. You make your nest, your web. And even if that web is the weakest of all houses, it was going to do its job. Those birds, they were told all you have to do is carry a pebble to a certain spot and drop. That's all. And you have become part of such an army. The people of this ummah, they were also told if you want to be part of this army, there's not much for you to do. You will have to do very little. But your results will be such that you will be remembered not till the end of today, of this world. At the end of this world, the effort of the spider will not be remembered in the next world. It had its chance, you will be remembered till the end of this day, meaning this world. And those ababil birds will not be remembered in the year after. And that pigeon, that dove which had its nest will not be remembered. They were given the honor that you will be remembered till the end of this world. But then when the next world will start, whoever is of this ummah from the army of Rahman, your remembrance will start the day your eyes close. When that individual enters his grave, the normal part is you took part in an army. If you die defending the country, even if you don't die but you died as a soldier, but you never went for the battle, then their law is they must give you a royal funeral. They must shoot something in the air. They must show that he died for us. But the most they can do is fill the grave. And thereafter they will just take your coffin or your sheet and they'll fold it and give it to your family. And they will say he was a good man. By Almighty Allah, it's a different army. That one who dies being a soldier of the deen of Rahman, he enters into a world where death will never ever come to him. As soon as he enters the grave, Allah's Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam said a companion will come to him and he will say, what a lovely face you have and you look so familiar. Who are you? And it will say, I am the very one that kept you awake when others were sleeping. So we can all understand that one. That at night when you were learning your sabaq and your friend at that time was enjoying himself with his game, after Asr when you were going over your work or sitting in detention and he was playing cricket, or the best is maybe your Qur'an might tell you, I was the one when everyone else was eating samosas, you were learning your door. I was that one. Because one thing the Hafiz in the month of Ramadan, even if he is solid, when he's having his iftar, he cannot get the enjoyment like the one who's not making the tarawih. That milkshake, he drinks it also, he's worried it mustn't sit here. And normally me and you will think when the easy paras come like Surah Yasin, then he'll get like more relaxed. There he gets more worried. Because there the whole masjid knows that surah. Whole masjid. So that 20 days, 25 days, he lives in that fikr, that worry. Perhaps he thinks no one knows what I'm going through. This is such an army that every hour is recorded by Almighty Allah. When that Qur'an will say, I was the one because of who you did, it means everything was recorded. He says, now when you need to rest, I will look after you. Meaning you sacrificed your sleep, now I will make sure you will get your sleep. You sacrificed your food, now I will make sure you will get. In Jannah, when Allah Tabarakala will give people what He will be giving, and the individual will look up and he will say so much, then Allah Tabarakala will answer, Inna hadha kana lakum jaza. That now is the time for me to pay back. Meaning you did lot in the world. وَكَانَ سَعْيُكُمْ مَشْكُورًا. And indeed your efforts were well appreciated. At the end of a hifz system, which might be 3 to 4 to 5 years, those days where you had to wake up early, you also forget. But everything got recorded. That few shots that the ustad, the teacher gave you, that all gets forgotten, everything gets recorded. Difficulty in this world is remembered only during that day and it's forgotten the next. And pleasures in this world are only remembered during the moment and forgotten the next. Whatever pleasures you enjoy here, you will not see it tomorrow. Whatever difficulty you enjoy here in the army of Rahman, you will see everything tomorrow. And Almighty Allah pays back in a unique manner. So to be a man of Qur'an is no burden. To be part of the army is an honor. In that army, that soldier is told, you'll have to wake up 3 o'clock and take a cold shower. He doesn't see it like a burden because he says, I am different. I am different. And it is not a problem for him to be different. He is very happy to be. The wives of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, When money started coming in the Islamic world, then they noticed that as the other women were getting a little extra, they said, "Oh Allah's Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that as they are now going to renovate our very, very small houses, if we can make it a little spacious." So at that time, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was ordered by Almighty Allah now to say to your wives that you make the choice, that we have not made anything impermissible. It is permissible for you to be like all the other women. But if you want to be the wife of the Rasul of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you have to be ready to be different. So it was said, say to your wives, in kuntunna turidna, if you want Allah and the Rasul of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then you'll have to make a little sabr for a few years in this world. And وَإِن كُنْتُنَّ تُرِدْنَ, and if you are desirous of the world and the zenith of this world, فَتَعَالَيْنِ, and he says, no problem, come and I'll give it to you. It's nothing wrong. It was natural that the wives of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where were they going to choose anything else when they said, we choose Allah and the Rasul of Allah? You will make a few days of sabr. Almighty Allah was very happy with the answer. And then this verse was revealed. لَسْتُنَّ كَأَحَدٍ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ, that remember, you're not like the rest of the women. So you cannot look at them and say, if they got, why can't I? You are not them. Similarly for the man of Qur'an, had Almighty Allah wanted, don't ever think you became a hafiz or a hafiza because you said, I want to do it. This is a part, this is a book, that if it is found that man wants to take it himself, as Allah Ta'ala says, لَوْ أَنزَلْنَا هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ, even if it had to be put on the mountain, you would find the mountain giving up. Almighty Allah allows this Qur'an to go. This is a very independent speech of Almighty Allah, where the Zat of Allah is so independent, this Qur'an is so independent. An independent Qur'an, the demand of it was to look for the purest of tongues, for the cleanest of hands, for the emptiest and the cleanest of hearts. And then that Qur'an will say, I'll go to him only. Very independent. Very independent. Almighty Allah in His kindness gave the command, لَا يَمَسُّهُ إِلَّا الْمُطَهَّرُونَ, that no one will come close to this Qur'an unless they are very pure. That was the command mentioned. Then the worry was, if very pure, where we are, we're not even a little pure. Then Almighty Allah gave a command, make wudu. Just with that one wudu, it was said at the end of wudu, if someone just reads one time the kalima, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله, one time after wudu, it was said all the doors of Jannah open up. Now the question comes that what? He never read the salah, he only made the wuzu. He never yet read salah. So why is all the doors opened up? What did he do? The answer that's given is that the wuzu, Allah in His kindness made it so unique that because of that wuzu, it surrounded his body with such a barrier, a screen, that his every fault became as though there's no fault. So clean he's looking because of wudu, that every door of Jannah opened up and he said, I want you. That you so clean you. All that dirt is still inside. It was said, just make wudu. With that wudu you were told, now you can hold this Qur'an. Now what was mentioned, لَا يَمَسُّهُ إِلَّا الْمُطَهَّرُونَ, unless you very pure, you will not get close to this Qur'an. Now the individual was told, you very pure, don't worry, go. Very pure. As an honor we were made to enter in this army. As an honor. No one would have been given permission to come close. If Qur'an wanted, it would have come out of my heart and your heart a long time ago. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "La yazni az-zani wa huwa mu'min." A person with iman and he gets involved in an evil act of what we call zina. Zina means the act where he gets close to dirt and filth. Allah Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, while he is a believer, he won't be doing it. So the scholars explain that it sometimes does happen, a believer goes towards it. It says during that time his iman pulls out of the body. Pulls out. That iman and this act can't go together. Pulls out. Now you think about this, that when it pulls out, it is the kindness of Allah, He lets it come back. Otherwise, normally if a woman says, I'm going out of this house, she doesn't go outside when the husband is involved with another woman and says, I'm going out. And then when you finish with her, phone me and I'll come back. Never ever happen. The wife catches her husband with somebody else and she walks out, it means she's gone for good. Allah in His kindness, where Iman lifted, Almighty Allah said, but don't leave. As soon as He leaves that action, I want you to go back. Similarly, this Qur'an, so independent this Qur'an is. But Almighty Allah in His kindness said that the whole world will not accept this individual as part of their army, but I want him as part of my army. So every time he'll do wrong, and my Qur'an will want to lift up, again it will be said, Qur'an, go back to him. Go back. Because I want him to die as a warrior of Islam. So being a man of Qur'an is no burden. It is what is called kindness from Allah that He entered us into an army where we are not at all fit for it. We were not fit to start the journey. We are not fit in the army. Every few days we do something that the Qur'an says, I wish I could go somewhere else. And Almighty Allah says, but it is my wish you stay with the individual. If he is not looking after you now, O Qur'an, you look after him. And this Qur'an stays. Thereafter Allah in His kindness, however, has always kept what we call bait. A reminder, a phone call. That phone call Allah in His kindness created it through the month of Ramadan. It is that month of Ramadan that makes everyone wake up. Everyone. The one who is a hafiz of Qur'an and he knows his work, he also wakes up. But now everyone wakes up to a different level. I want at the end of this thing, may Allah make it, that from this Ramadan onwards, we wake up to a very high level. Every Ramadan, everyone does wake up. I remember my one friend, whole year he would not read Qur'an, whole year. No Qur'an. And then 1 month before Ramadan, he would go sit with another friend in the office and they would say, hey, Ramadan is starting, let's make dua. Without looking, without opening, he would start reading, he would read his 3 juz. The friend would read the 3 juz and then they would finish their 1, they would finish their 2, they say, right, we're ready for Ramadan. So when we used to hear this when we were small, he would say, hey, I wish my Qur'an is so solid. The whole year he would never read. His waking up was like that. I used to always think like, this is what I want. Later on we learned that this is not what we want. This is not what we want. But for him it was so much, at least 1 month he woke up. 1 month. He forgot this Qur'an the whole year, but Allah in His kindness said, I will not let you leave this individual. Even if he left you for so many months, you will stay with him because I know just before Ramadan he's coming back home. That's what it was. So although he thought my Qur'an is solid, it was rather the kindness of your Allah is unique. The kindness of your Allah is unique. Otherwise you tell your wife, I'm going. But just before Ramadan, I think I'll come back. When you want to come back also, you can be solid in the pocket with your wallet. She's not going to open the door. But the Qur'an waited, and it waited, and it waited. So some people woke up like that, but it wasn't the best. Some people just before Ramadan, they would say that, this Ramadan I want to read in the masjid, because of which my beard has to come out fast. So they woke up just before Ramadan, the beard did come out, they got the musalla. Just before Ramadan, they changed a little bit. They said, now I have to dress different, I have to behave different. Some of them, just before Ramadan, they said, oh Qur'an, I'm coming, just wait for me. And just before Ramadan, they woke up. For that individual also, Almighty Allah told Qur'an, that although it wasn't fair what he did, but you will wait for him. In Ramadan, he's going to wake up. Ramadan, however, was the call to wake up. Now, many of us made one mistake here. We always woke up for Ramadan, and we thought that's all that's required for Quran. So as soon as Eid came, again we went back to sleep. Again it would have been that Quran says, I know this individual. Every year he lies. Every year. Just before Ramadan he changes. And after Ramadan he goes back again. I went out. And again Almighty Allah said, you can't go out. You will stay with him. And I'll give him chance Ramadan and Ramadan and Ramadan and Ramadan. In the hope that one Ramadan will come before he dies, that he'll remain faithful to Al-Quran, and then he's called part of the army of Rahman. In His kindness, Allah never wants me and you to be written as traitor. So He gave us the Quran, and He covered all our faults in His kindness. He told us, make wudu, stay with wudu. The little Quran you will read. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when an individual of Quran will stand up in the salah of the night, and he'll just make miswak, Almighty Allah makes his body so pure that an angel is ready to put its mouth on his mouth. So pure. But we know our inside was never clean. There was lies, there was dirt, there was filth, so much. So how do we now come to a level where we can wake up? And we say, I want to be part of this army in a unique manner. Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu anh spoke about 4 ayat of Quran. And because the people who are sitting here, most of you are hafiz, and even the one whose door is normally what we will call kacha, weak, these are such ayat which you can't forget, or you're not supposed to forget. He spoke about 4 ayat. And he said that individual who once a day will read these 4 ayat. Once a day. But again, when it means read it, when they understood read meant they understood you will read it and you will know what you're reading. So because it's only 4 ayat, we will just explain a little of each one. And then we will ask that every one of us, because we are hafiz of Quran, whole Quran, part of Quran, let not one day go except that I read it. It's only 4 ayat. And these 4 ayat will perhaps make us reach that level where I wake up. So first we will mention the 4 ayat, it's nothing hard. We will mention the benefit of it, which is amazing. And thereafter we will explain a little of its translation, that when we are reading it, then I want us to think of these few meanings. Because these meanings are telling the man of Quran, this is what I want from you. And every day when we will be reading it, and Quran will be saying to me and you, this is what I want from you, then there's hope that very soon a time will come when we will say to Quran, I'm ready now. And on that day, if we can become min Ahlil Quran, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, indeed, there are some people who are known as the household of Almighty Allah. Inna lillahi ahleen. Ahl means That you got a major problem, you say, I need a contact. So he says, that one is the son-in-law. And normally that son-in-law is the contact in the family who's like the newer son-in-law. Older son-in-law, you never ask him. He'll say, ask the new one, because the new one is like fresh. They already fought enough for the old one. So you say, he's the contact. There's a daughter in the family that's the beloved, that's the contact. Someone who they love. Sahaba radiallahu anh needed to ask Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam something, they were very scared. They would say, Usama bin Zayd, the adopted son, was Zayd bin Haris. His son was Usama radiallahu anh, like a grandson. He said, Usama, the beloved of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, get him, he's the contact. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, there are certain people who are the Ahl of Almighty Allah, meaning the contact. Sahaba radiallahu anh asked, who are these contacts? Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Ahlul Qur'an. They are the people of Qur'an. They are the household of Allah. They are the special of Allah. Wa khassatuhu. You don't need to find the contact. You yourself are the contact. Those that are sitting here and you worried about Ramadan and Taraweeh, I want at the end of this thing to understand, you're not supposed to have any worry in the world because you are the house. You are the main contact. You are the warrior that looks after the whole Islam. You don't only have to worry of one Musalla. But the only thing is the contact has to learn that I am the contact. Ahlul Quran. So how to become this? I want to be the man of Quran. So 4 ayat. Which are the 4 ayat? So it's those ones that's very hard that you say, the Hafiz will say, hey, I don't even remember these ones. Nabi Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu anh said, the first will be from Alif Lam Mim Dhalikal Kitabu La Rayba Fi Hudal Lil Muttaqin. Normally every Hafiz boy, that page he knows it solid. That one is like. So that part, وَبِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُوقِنُونَ أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَىٰ هُدًى مِّن رَبِّهِمْ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Inshallah, that one, even the one who's not Hafiz of the whole Quran, so much we know. Thereafter, our normal condition is when we're driving a car also, we only notice when we're leaving the town, and then we notice when we're reaching the next town. In between, whatever happens, happens. At the end of Surah Al-Baqarah, many of us know the ending of Surah Baqarah. Because when it comes, we know this surah is finished and these are the top ayat. That's where the Hafiz that day, like he just gets, I got this page here. لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَإِن تُبْدُوا مَا فِي أَنفُسِكُم, meaning just above آمَنَ الرَّسُولُ. So that one is the Hafiz knows it, and even the non-Hafiz when he reaches there he gets a little bit happy. When the Hafiz says Rabbana la, he's also reading it, like to tell the boy next to him, I also know this. Everyone gets happy, that's the ending. So 2 we already know, Hafiz or non-Hafiz. 2 we know. Thereafter, Tilka Rusulu was, I missed one. First one was Alif Lam Mim Dhalik Al-Kitabu. Then Ayatul Kursi, who doesn't know Ayatul Kursi? So when Ayatul Kursi comes, it's only a few ayat after Ayatul Kursi, which the Hafiz of the Quran knows, the non-Hafiz perhaps he doesn't know this one, that's why the Hafiz will tell him, now you keep quiet, I'm reading this one. So those few ayat after Ayatul Kursi. لا إكراه في الدين قد تبين الرشد من الغي فمن يكفر بالطاغوت أنتل أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. So normally the Hafiz will score over the non-Hafiz on this one. And if you are non-Hafiz, you rather go and learn it also. It's only half a page. Only half a page. So you got your Alif Lam Mim Dhalik Al-Kitabu, your one. Ayatul Kursi till the end of the ruku. Lillahi ma fis samawati wa ma fil ardi till the ending. So now we're sitting with how many ayat? If we have to look at the beginning, Alif Lam Mim Dhalik Al-Kitabu La Rayba Fi, then we will see we're sitting here with أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَىٰ هُدًى مِّن رَبِّهِمْ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ 5 ayat. Then Ayatul Kursi will be number 6. Then there will be 3 ayat after Ayatul Kursi. La ikraha fi din. 2 ayat after ayatul kursi. So 6 plus 2 will be 8. And then we will come to the ending and we will read Lillahi ma fis samawati wa ma fil ardi, which will be our 9. So 10 ayat. These 10 ayat, among the virtues that they mention, number 1, they mentioned lam yaqrubhu wa ahlahu shaitan. No shaitan will come close to him, neither to his family. Lam yaqrubhu shaytanun wa ahlahu. No devil will come close to him, neither to his family. Wala shay'un yakrahuhu. Something that he dislikes, he will not see it. Something that he dislikes, he is not going to see it. Neither in him, neither in his family. So no devil is going to come close to him, neither to his family. Something that is dislikes is not going to hit him, it's not going to hit his family. So it means he, number 1, put a shield around. In another place he mentioned, at night a person reads it, on that night he says the devil is not going to enter this house. Another place he mentioned, even if it has to be read on someone who's mad, majnoon, lam yuqra'an ala majnoon, even if it's read to someone who lost his mind, illa afaqa, it will bring him back to his senses. In the past, the man who had a jinn was known as majnoon. Today, the man who got knocked with drugs is known as majnoon. The man who became a zombie in front of the computer became majnoon. The man who's taking that dafa is becoming majnoon. It will not be read on that majnoon, and except it will take him one day out of it. He'll bring him back, he will be a normal person again. In one place, his student mentioned that whoever will read this, lam yansal Qur'an, he will not forget Qur'an. Now, not forget Qur'an will have many meanings. One meaning is the one me and you want. That the whole 6-7 months I don't read Qur'an, and then I'm like that friend. Just before Ramadan I say, right, I'll meet you in the office. Quickly, let's make our door. I'm ready. We all want that one. I don't have to worry about door after this the rest of my life. And waqi, when my brother finished his hifz of Qur'an, I remember when Ayin told my brother, read this, and you will not forget your Qur'an. And at that time what we understood is this meaning, you won't forget your Qur'an. And Almighty Allah in His system, my brother read it and Allah made it. He can't forget his Qur'an. He reads so much Qur'an, that there's no thought about you forgetting your Qur'an. So one is, you will not forget your Qur'an. Lam yansal Qur'an. The second is the one that we want. Read it. And after Ramadan also you will not forget that this Qur'an is you. And you won't go back asleep again. It will keep you reminded that you are married to this Qur'an. And how you are behaving in Ramadan, after Ramadan you will continue behaving in that manner. How many? 10 ayat of Surah Baqarah, whoever will read. There will be 4 at the beginning, and it ends at وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. So most likely this got to do with regarding the counting of the ayat. So we're counting it as 5, but that's regarded as 4. So looking at that 4, so it will be the exact same, and we will come to 10 there. So ending at وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ, he counted that as 4. And thereafter everything else worked out. Ayatul Kursi will be our 5th. Thereafter the 2 ayat will be 6th and 7th. Lillahi ma fis samawat will be our 8th. Amana Rasul will be the 9th. La yukallifullahu nafsan will be the 10th. So the same 10 that we spoke about, only there we looked at 5 written, it was 4. So looking at these 10 verses, again, Alif Lam Mim Zalikal Kitabu La Rayba Fih. Thereafter Ayatul Kursi and 3 verses after, and thereafter the end of Surah Baqarah. Benefits of it again, that first one is something we all want. No shaitan will come close to him. Wa ahlahu. It will not hit his family also. Lam yaqrubhu shaytanun wala ahlahu. It will not hit him nor his family. So this is your alarm. You put this alarm when you're putting on the other alarm. That I need my own protection also. I need my wife's protection. I need my child's protection. And we are entering into an era where we really need a lot of protection. Then he said, that night the devil will not enter that house until the morning, hatta yusbiha. You read it at night. Then he said, even if it's read on a majnoon, illa afaqa, he'll come back to his senses. It will keep your mind, your wife's mind, your children's mind straight. Then his student said, lam yansal Qur'an, they will not forget Qur'an. That's what we all wanted. But one is that meaning, I don't want to forget my door. And the second meaning is, I don't want to forget I'm part of the army of Rahman. That whether it's for Ramadan or after, this is my preparation till I die. Now why were these 10 verses so unique? So much they were going to give. Because when a man is reading something, and he's just concentrating on the meaning, and every day is looking at that letter again, and that same message is going through again. Hopefully they'll say after 5 times when you read the message, you will also say that I will respond. What is this message that's given to every person of Qur'an? That we want 10 verses from you. Bring 10 verses in your life and you are Ahlul Qur'an. Proof of it is, the Ahlul Qur'an is the man that the devil is so scared of him that he can't even go close to his family also. The devil stays far away. He says, this is a man of Qur'an, stay far. So these 10 verses are going to make a person solid, so strong. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Umar, you are that man that when the devil sees you, he goes on the other road. When the devil sees you, he walks on the other path. Then it was given to the people of this ummah. 10 verses bring in your life. You will become so strong. When the devil will see you, he'll never come close to you. لَمْ يَقْرُبْهُ شَيْطَانٌ وَلَا أَهْلَهُ. So strong it will be. لَمْ يَنْسَ الْقُرْآنِ. You will be reading this every night. You will never forget your Qur'an. You will know your door also by the fadl of Allah. You will remember in your life that I first, before being a businessman and a husband and a doctor, I am a man of Qur'an. I am different from everyone else. لَسْتُنَّ كَأَحَدٍ مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ. When the wives were told you are not like the other woman, the man of Qur'an is told you are not like the other men. What is the message in these 10 verses? And just before I mention it, then I will make this plea which I am making recently a lot in many programs. That by Allah's fadl, South Africa, in the issue of Hifz Quran has reached a very high level. That in nearly every masjid, a masjid without a Hifz class, will say no Hifz class. Forget, now in the masjids there's a Darul Ulum in this masjid, and Darul Ulum in that masjid, Darul Ulum everywhere, Darul Ulum. So Hifz class everywhere. Say he got in his house a Hifz class. He got in his garage, becoming very high, very good. But when climbing a ladder, there's a need always to continue climbing. So we reached one level, and normally when a person stops on a level, when you're climbing a mountain, no matter how hard it's to climb, as long as you carry on moving, you don't get tired. But if the person stops mountain climbing, and he wants to start looking down, later on when they say, let's move on, he says, I don't think I'm going to make it. He says, just carry on, don't become stagnant. We have become stagnant on one point, for which one cry is being made, that how come the Hafiz of Quran, after 3 years devoted to the Quran, who has read so much Quran in that 3 years, that if a man out of the Hifz class was reading so much of Quran, you would say you are amongst the awliya of the time. But the boy in the Hifz class is reading so much Quran, yet at night when he's going, he's involved in filth and dirt. How is his Quran not making him a wali of the era? How is he in the army and out of the army at the same time? Why is he not changing with Qur'an? Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu anh said, the boy of Qur'an, when others are laughing, you will find him crying. But we're not finding that. When others are sleeping, you will find him awaking with his Qur'an. We're not finding that. We are finding that when the non-Hafiz is reading Tahajjud, the Hafiz is missing Fajr. How is that happening? 3 years he went for Hifz class, he woke up every day before Fajr. As soon as his Qur'an finished, the next week he's not in the masjid for any salah. They ask, how is that? 3 years with Qur'an and he never climbed the mountain. But he was on the mountain all along. So then sometimes it seems that there's a need to go further. What is that further? That further is in our Hifz classes now. If time can be devoted, that this Qur'an has come to save the Iman of our future. But it saves the Iman of our children with reading Qur'an with love. And أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنِ. Almighty Allah says, what? Have they not pondered over its meaning? It was when a man was able to understand it that you could shout him and say, didn't you read my message? But if he says, but daddy, you wrote it in Afrikaans, and you know, I don't know Afrikaans. So I looked at it and I looked at it, and a time came that I got tired of looking at it. Quran is not like that letter in Afrikaans. It's a miracle in itself. That if a person reads Quran without knowing the meaning, even then it will continue, wiping away his filth and his dirt. But there's a world of difference with the man who reads Quran and he knows what he's reading. In the era of Islam, it would be known, Qara al-Quran. He read Quran. He is the greatest of the time. Finished. Qara al-Quran. He said, I saw the children of that man, kulluhum qad qara'u al-Quran. Every one of them had read the Quran. They would say, Al-Qari, he's a Qari, meaning Hafiz of Quran. He said, make him the mayor of the country, the mayor of the city. Abdullah Umar radiallahu anh wrote to Abu Musa Ash'ari radiallahu anh, I want you to write the names of the Huffaz of Quran, send them to me. Because I want to send them to every area. They are the leaders. Every area. Why he was going to make them? What did they learn? They learned as they learned this Quran, the entire constitution. They, after their hifz, they were ready to go in any environment. If they had to go into the terrible environment of a university, they would be able to go that I am the leader, not you. They would go as a da'i, they would not be mad'u. If the teacher was going to try to make them an atheist with their Quran, they would make the teacher a believer. They would be able to answer the talk of Iman. Wherever in the world they would go, they would say, I got a constitution not in my hand, in my heart. It moves in my flesh and my blood. At night when I read it, I think of its meaning. I cry at night. Allah inspires me with new meanings. They will say, I'll teach you the meaning of Quran, O teacher. If that boy in this Hifz class, a little bit extra months can be taken out, which makes 3 years into 4 years. But it is said to him, when you will be doing your Hifz, I want you to do it in a manner that when we will start with the first 5 lines, I am not going to teach you Arabic, deep Arabic. I am going to teach you basic translation of Quran. And because you will be repeating that line 25 times to memorize it, as you're repeating it, those words with its meaning will settle in your mind. As your sabak will come to 8 lines, the same words are going to come. If a man looks at Quran, he will see the words. Once he sees it one time, it repeats many times. When that boy will be reading his Quran, he will be reading it with a meaning. When he reads it with the meaning, it will not just be door. He will be able to, not when he has to go in Jamaat for 4 months, and he says, this is the first time in my life I read Tahajjud. In that his class, that boy's father will find the child 3 o'clock at night waking up, going on the musalla, reading Qur'an. Because it's regarding Jannah, he'll be crying. Because it's regarding Jahannam, he'll be crying. But if there's no meaning, that poor boy who's only crying because he said, Daddy, I don't know my door, Ustad will hit me tomorrow. That Qur'an never said, and they cry when they read Qur'an because of that. Because our children have not been given any chance to learn Qur'an with meaning, we are sending them into the environment of the devil, and they have absolutely no ammunition. You give them so little bit of Qur'an, 10 ayat, and they just know the meaning of 10 ayat. It was said the devil won't come close to him. Just 10 ayat. Imagine if that boy is given the whole Qur'an. When he reaches Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas, he has understood the message which is a divine message. A lot of people say that because the time the child gets to start studying Islam, it's too late already. But we ask him, but he's entering the Hifz class at the age of 9. So he is in the class. When he's in the class from the age of 9 to 12, 9 to 13, can he not be then taught the message of Qur'an? After that, when he goes out, he'll go with the message. So these 10 ayat I will mention. The Hafiz of Qur'an, I will ask you, I can't teach you the Arabic language. But 1, 2 verses I'm going to mention to you. And when you will be reading these 10 verses, and Allah make it, I read it, you read it every night. When we read this one part, at least I'll say, I know this meaning. And then say, this is what Qur'an wants from me. If I can give it, it will make me Ahlul Qur'an, the people of Qur'an. That will make me from the household of Allah. That will make me from the selected of Allah. That will make me the contact. No devil will come close to me. No devil will come close to my family. My work is done. Few ayat of these 10 I will mention. What Qur'an wants from me and you. In the beginning, Alif Lam Mim Zalikal Kitabu La Rayba Fi Hudal Lil Muttaqin Alladhina Yu'minuna Bil Ghayb. Till there we will do that translation from this first. Alif Lam Mim Zalikal Kitab means this is the book in which there's absolutely no doubt. Saying to you, O Hafiz of Qur'an, you don't need to go looking for your honor in anything else outside. You got it in your heart. Dhalikal Kitab. This is the book in which there's absolutely no doubt. No doubt it's divine. No doubt it is true from the beginning till the end. No doubt it will take you to the highest places in Jannah. No doubt it will look after you in the grave. No doubt it will stand with you on the plains of Qiyamah. No doubt it will see to your every need. There's absolutely no doubt. Hudal lil muttaqin. It will be guidance for you if you fear Allah. Hudal lil muttaqin. Question, immediately the person will say, what is this muttaqin? One who fears Allah. Alladhina yu'minuna bil ghayb. The one who believes in things which the mind, the eye, the ear do not comprehend. As soon as you read that, means you are not like everyone else. When everyone else sees money, they see success. You different. When you see money, you see a snake. You are different. One friend had a dream. A very nice, long dream, scary dream for him. For me, it was a unique dream. In the dream, the crux of it was 3 things were shown to him. A lion, a tiger, lion coming, tiger coming, trying to attack him. One time he saw alligators, but let's go to lion and tiger, it's easy to explain. And then he saw a long green snake sleeping. And as he got close, it stood up and wants to bite. Long green snake. So he asked, what's this lion that wants to attack me? What's this tiger? What's this long green snake? So I said, what comes to my mind? Lion and tiger. are those two animals that whenever we hear, hey, there's lions here, we say, let's go, even if you have to pay money. Everyone likes to see the lion. And in other places, everyone likes to see the tiger. Say, what an animal. Very attractive. But everyone knows it's only beautiful if you're far from it. As soon as you enter that cage, the beautiful lion is no longer beautiful. That lion and tiger was to tell him and through him to tell all of us, a lot of things in this world are very smart. That other one also, she's very smart. But they're all smart as long as you stay away. Get too close and they bite like the lion and tiger. So you are in an environment where you are seeing a lot of things and everything looks interesting. But everything is just a tiger or a lion. As long as you keep your distance, you will be safe. Get too close to the animal, and when it launches its attack, it will not leave you standing. When that tiger comes, your whole family can then try and protect you. If it has to scratch you, it's going to scratch. It has to scratch you, it's going to scratch. So the next time you're in your environment of university, and that pretty girl is walking past, and your eye does go up, then don't just see a pretty girl, see a tiger. And then immediately see, is there a cage between me and the tiger? Because if there's no cage, then even distance is not safety. You will see them as lions and tigers, then you will keep your distance. As for the long green snake, I said what comes in my heart is green refers to the wealth of this world. When Nabi ﷺ said, Khudratun hulwatun, this world is green. That green is this money that you're seeing, that if I become this, I'll get so much money. Long and green, long, Allah's Nabi ﷺ said, very long hopes a person got. That I will take so much money, then I'll build that property, then I'll buy that property, then I'll do this here. So you got a long green snake. But that long green snake, when you want to go out of the door, that's when it wakes up and it says, you're not going anywhere. And so you have to think about wealth and see it as a snake. Who will do that? الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. O Hafiz of Qur'an, you are the one who believes in the unseen. You see things in a manner other people don't see it. Because you are different. Where they are thrilled with the things of this world, Almighty Allah has told you, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِي وَالْقُرْآنِ الْعَظِيمِ. Indeed, we have given you, one meaning is Surah Fatiha, that itself is lot. We have given you this whole Qur'an. لَا تَمُدَّنَّ عَيْنَيْكَ إِلَى مَا مَتَّعْنَا بِهِ. After this, O Hafiz of Qur'an, don't ever let your eye fall on what we have given the others. Because you are not like the others. When you see wealth, you see a snake. You say, I will take it in my pocket, but I will make sure its poison doesn't enter into my body. I will learn how to control it and keep it away. When you see a pretty figure, you see a lion or a tiger. You know, I go close, I'm not going to come out alive. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Every night when you read this, just think of that, يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Those who believe in the unseen. Then you think of your lion, tiger and your long snake, and your one message has come. You are different. Thereafter comes Ayatul Kursi. After Ayatul Kursi comes La ikraha fi din. قَدْ تَبَيَّنَ الرُّشْدُ مِنَ الْغَيِّ. Beautiful this verse is. After Ayatul Kursi, Allah Tabarak says, remember, I am not forcing anyone. Normally when the father says, oh my son, if you don't want to work for the business, no problem. I'm not going to force you. But remember, whoever is going to take this thing, he's going to live a life of enjoyment till the ending. But I'm not going to force you. If you want to just relax and say, Daddy, I don't want it. Allah Ta'ala, after Ayatul Kursi says, La ikraha fi din. O person of the Quran, there's no force. قَدْ تَبَيَّنَ الرُّشْدُ مِنَ الْغَيِّ. The truth has been made very clear from that which is a lie. فَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِالطَّاغُوتِ وَيُؤْمِنْ بِاللَّهِ. If you leave the devil and you believe in Allah, فَقَدْ اسْتَمْسَكَ بِالْعُرْوَةِ الْوُثْقَى, then indeed you have held on to a rope which is not going to break after this. You're not going to fall from this mountain. Wallahu Sami'un Alim. Allah is listening. Who is the man of Qur'an? Allah knows who's the man of Qur'an. Are you reading? Are you reading in your salah? Are you reading out of your salah? What is your talk? Allah says Allah knows it all. Allahu waliyul ladina amanu. Allah is the friend of the one who believes in Allah. That wali, Allah is the friend. When you read this La ikraha, only so much of the meaning I want. That first one, yu'minuna bil ghaib. This Qur'an will do everything for the one who believes in the unseen. You believe in the unseen. You're not like the rest. When you will come here, La ikraha fid deen. Only so much think of its meaning. That I am not forcing you. There is no force in this game at all. No force. And normally when the person says, the father says, I'm not forcing you, then the son opens his eyes. And he says, no daddy, I'm ready to do it. Allah says, I'm not forcing. La ikraha fid deen. And at the ending when you come, Lillahi ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard wa in tubdu ma fi anfusikum aw tukhfu yuhasibukum bihillah. Allah is in control of it all. Whether you keep it hidden or you make it apparent. If you don't like to be part of the army of Allah, yuhasibukum bihillah, Allah says, I will take your reckoning. Which means that you can't run away. Whether you hate Allah from inside or you make it apparent on the tongue. Allah says, I'm going to take you task. So you want that. Immediately the person says, Allah, I'm sorry. فَيَغْفِرُ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ. Allah says, then Allah is ready to forgive. وَيُعَذِّبُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. And if you don't want to change, then remember Allah is also ready to punish. وَاللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. And Allah got power to do what He wants. The ending to say, are you going to fight? The father then finally walking out says, you're going to fight with your father. You're going to fight. Almighty Allah is not anyone's father. Almighty Allah is most independent. In His kindness He said, I am allowing you to be part of my army. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. But you're not like everyone else. You believe in the unseen. لَا إِكْرَاهَ فِي الدِّينِ. You're not forced. No force. But if you want to jump out of it, then at the ending Allah is ready to forgive and Allah is severe in punishment. Wallahu ala kulli shay'in qadir. Who is going to stop Allah? That person who reads this every night, 10 ayat of this, 10 ayat, and he just thinks of that little meaning, he will make a decision. Because of that decision, so many things will happen. The devil will not come close to him and his family. You don't have to be a hafiz of the entire Quran. You read these 10 ayat, it was not mentioned hifzan who will read it. And you will also get that enjoyment of being part of lam yansal Quran. He will never forget his Quran. Even if hifzan you have never memorized Quran, you will get tawfiq to start reading Quran. You will learn to love Quran. May Allah Ta'ala this much. This 10 ayat must come in our life immediately. And we'll just think of the meaning. The second, may Allah make my coming now to this masjid, to this town, make it a mean that in South Africa and then as an example for the world. Because it's a need for the people of the world, especially from what we call the non-Arabic speaking people, that they have to learn the meaning of Quran. Because the person is saying, my child is going in this environment, give him a bayan. We say Allah's Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I have left behind for you 2 bayans. One is the silent bayan which is called the qabr. And he said one is the speaking bayan which is Al-Quran. The bayan is given to him. This is not a Moulana Katani's bayan or anyone else's bayan. This is his Quran. He will be giving his own bayan. He will be reading it in his tune. He will start crying. He will get the answer whatever he is looking. Whenever you will say Allahu Akbar and you will start reading, It will say to him, what you're doing is not right, change. After that 2 rakats, he read Qur'an, his life is now different. He fought with his wife that day. He's reading Qur'an. He reads the verse where Allah Ta'ala says how the husband and wife must behave. He reads the verse, Allah is most powerful. He reads the verse of Jannah is coming, but there is Jahannam. After the 2 rakats, he got his answer. He doesn't need the counselor. He doesn't need that mad hospital. He doesn't need to phone an alim in Moulana and say, Moulana, you got 5 minutes for me. He will say, you got all the answers in your heart. But so much we need to do. Give our children the meaning of Qur'an. Let them become hafiz of Qur'an with that meaning. And then we will see that results. I saw that boy, young boy who read 1 verse of Qur'an, he knew the meaning. It made him cry. It made all of us cry. He read, يَوْمَ نَقُولُ لِجَهَنَّمَ هَلِمْ تَلَأْتِ. On that day, we will say to Jahannam, oh Jahannam, are you full? Meaning enough now. How many people are burning in you? وَتَقُولُ. And Jahannam will say, I want more people. Meaning that one also I want, that one I want, that one I want. When that young boy read it, when he read يَوْمَ نَقُولُ لِجَهَنَّمَ, on that day when we will say to Jahannam, Halim tala'ti, are you full? He knew the meaning of it finished. He started crying. The masjid started crying. Where we ever saw a young boy, he could cry on his own Qur'an. He couldn't carry on reading. He never had to become the great Sheikh Abdul Basit of the era. He never had to become an alim and mufti. In the Hifz class, he was already introduced to the terrible nature of Jahannam. In the Hifz class, he saw Jahannam saying, I want you. That boy, even if filth and dirt comes in front, that يَوْمَ نَقُولُ لِجَهَنَّمَ هَلِمْ تَلَأْتِ will make him give an answer to that filth and dirt, that I am not ready for a few minutes of entertainment to be thrown forever into Jahannam. He was introduced to it. May Allah inspire our elders and the ustads of all the Hifz classes. Somehow or the other, you will have to teach that child as he journeys through Hifz what he is reading also. And he must be made to read Nafal. And in that Nafal he must love Qur'an. He must love that Qur'an. He must enjoy it. Then he must come to class and it's before Fajr. He say quickly read 2 rakats, 4 rakats tahajjud. And in that he must read his sabak. He must enjoy it. And you will say, now I have given you the gift of Qur'an. That jalsa will be the unique jalsa. That boy when Taraweeh will come, when he will then stand and Allah make it happen. When he will stand on the musalla, then you will find that Imam on the musalla, as he reads, he will cry. And he will make everyone around him cry. His stress will not be before the Taraweeh. When he will go on the musalla, he will go into another alam. And he will take people with him into that alam. You don't have to be an alim to know what you're reading. You'll have to make a little effort. And when you will read this, you will find there is no gift, no treasure, no miracle like the miracle of Al-Quran. May Allah Ta'ala make 10 ayat which must change our lives. And Allah inspire that we all are able to learn the meaning of Quran. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah.